Hi friends, this is the Miss Wolfie from our Half Acre Homestead. Papa and I are going to process and bottle some of last year's honey. So this is honey that we decapped and let drain into this cooler last year. Now as you all know, honey doesn't go bad, but this hasn't been heated, pasteurized, or strained. It's got wax caps.
It's pollen.
Yeah. Okay. So what we're going to do is Papa's going to cut this up and we're going to show you how we're going to process this particular. So here we have 2 cookie sheets with foil pans. Now we learned the hard way not to melt honey and wax in your kitchen pots because it is extremely difficult to get clean, and you do not want any bits of wax or anything going down your drain, eh dear? So Papa is going to cut this up and we're going to put it in blocks in these trays. Oh, that's gone creamed. Note to yourself, folks, honey, coolers are a good way to store honey if you can't process it right away. Okay, so the cooler's almost empty. Now, we were going to divide this honey up in between the 4 trays, but we realized that we're going to be melting this and then straining it, and we need something to strain it into that isn't one of our kitchen pots. So that's what those 2 trays are going to be used for. These are going to be going into a 180-degree oven. What we want to do is we want to melt this. We don't want to boil it. We just want to melt it. Then we are going to strain it through cheesecloth. Then we're going to allow them to cool. And when they cool, we will pour off the liquid honey from underneath the wax, and then we will wash the wax for use. At least that's what we're hoping for.
That's our plan.
That's our plan. See the different colors in the wax and the honey? That's what I was trying to show you in the cooler the last time. This is what Wolfie's doing that's going to end up in the cooler at the beginning of the video, right? Wax and honey. Look at that. Are these your plastic forms or wax forms?
These are my wax.
So you got to be very careful then, not to break them.
They're still good for another year or so.
And then once these are all scraped, he's just going to set the whole cooler near the wood stove to let it drip. Not too close though, you don't want the wax forms melting. Okay, so what are we doing now here?
The 4 that have been scraped and they're just dripping. We'll get some more honey out of them.
So this is you scraped them in and the bulk of it went into here.
Wax and honey, yeah.
Wax and honey. And now these ones are dripping so that you have room to scrape more into here.
Correct.
Awesome. Good job, Daddy. You want a cup of tea?
Sure.
Okay, our honey, or most of our honey and wax has melted. You find the handles here. And I'm just going to hold this right over this tray. Okay, this is this year's honey, but these are the ones you scraped?
Yes.
Okay, you scraped them. So what we have on top here is the wax caps, right?
Correct.
Okay, so now what he's going to do, he's just going to open the spout on the cooler. Is that one of my knitting needles?
Here it comes.
Oh, here it comes. Anticipation. Anticipation, 'cause you're making me wait. This is this year's honey, and it's got to be put through like 3 straining processes. Don't rush a turtle. Just set it down. Put a book under it. Let's get to bottling the last year stuff. We're going to put some boiling water in these pans so that we can fit the foil pans in and loosen that honey up. We have these because we're on a plastic tablecloth. We obviously have these on hot pads. This helps loosen up the honey, and as you can see, that's just a tiny film of wax on top. It's actually starting to crystallize again. If you leave honey just to sit like this covered, it will go thick, and they call it creamed honey, but it's what it is crystallized. But you got to leave it open to the air, which we're not willing to do. Well, I think everybody should know that honey actually never goes bad. They've found honey actually 3,000 years old in Egypt. It never goes bad. It'll go crystallized, it'll go creamed, it will go hard, but all you have to do is reheat it, eh dear?
Yep.
And we have, what do we have here? We have 9.5 pints.
There's about an inch in the bottom here.
Oh my goodness.
So there's more to be.
There's more to be had, plus what's in that cooler right there that's draining. And this is just, you left almost a full super for the bees, didn't you?
Oh, more than that.
1 hive is plenty. 2, you can share with your entire family. 3 hives, you've got a business. This is Mama Wolfie and
Me.
from our half-acre homestead saying processing and straining and bottling your honey is actually a really good winter project. All right, take care, bye-bye.